Live from New York, it's Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
Welcome to the show.
everybody.
It is December 16th. With me is today's co-host, Jessica Califano. She is the Director of Community Support and Publishing here at Adafruit, and we have a fantastic Wearable Electronics show for you. Jess, what's on today's show?
Well, first, I just want to say happy holidays to everyone.
Oh, yeah,
Because
totally.
I won't see you all until next year.
That's right.
I believe, so happy holidays. So this week on the show, we're going to be talking about Wearable Wednesday on the blog. Becky has a awesome new snowflake sweater project.
That's coming up soon.
Yes. We will have component of the week.
We're doing the another feather board today. It's the Blue Fruit Feather, also featured in this week's project. Tools we love is a brand new battery of the Goldilocks variety. If you thought our batteries, we had the too small battery and the too big battery and not the
This
just
one's
right.
just right.
More on that later.
Becky will answer your wearables questions, and we are giving away a Flora this week.
If you have any wearable electronics questions, you can post them up now during the show or later in the YouTube comments or on the Google Plus page or on Twitter or on the Adafruit blog, and we will queue them or in the forums. And
Or
we will,
email us
or
or anything.
Just ask the questions. Courier,
Carrier pigeon,
carrier pigeon,
paper plane, drone.
drone. Yeah, that would be the best question actually. And we'll queue them up for a future show. That's how the questions work.
Cool. And code this week, snowflake.
I couldn't get any real live snow, so I made a discount code snow.
We made an LED snow.
Yes. I'm
There we
really
go.
fixated on how it is not really winter yet, or it's not really cold yet, and I would like some snow.
Yes.
So you can get 10% off your whole order, everything except gift certificates and software, until 11:59 Eastern Time tonight, using code Snowflake on checkout.
Awesome. Okay, so Wearable Wednesday on the blog.
Projects, guys. Projects that you guys make. We post them on the blog, and we talk about them on the show. There's some really awesome ones this week.
Really
I can't
good ones.
believe how sophisticated, DIY wearables are now. It's
I
just,
know.
So this is very similar to our project today, actually. The glowing bag with the Adafruit Feather 32U4 Blue Fruit module by a Frenchy French, Alexandre Perrier Musée. He made this bag with a NeoPixel ring, some individual NeoPixels, and a segment of a larger NeoPixel ring.
Little NeoPixel face on your bag.
Little smiley face, and using the Adafruit Blue Fruit Connect or Blue Fruit LE Connect app for iOS. We also have it for Android to control the LED animations and the colors.
Yep.
Nice work.
Looking good.
He made a funny, lighthearted blog post in French that's easy to translate in the browser, and where he details the parts that he uses, has a circuit diagram, and also releases his code. So
Cool.
that's awesome.
Very
Nice
good.
job.
Nice job. This one is from Jeff Buck Albany on YouTube. It's a Santa hat, but it's totally upgraded with some scrolling text,
Okay.
which is very cool.
When I first saw this project posted on the blog, it was the first shot of the video is the creator wearing the hat, and from far away it's hard to tell that it's like a full matrix until
Right.
you see the scrolling text happening. And I thought, oh yeah, yawn, we've seen this Santa hat before. Like last year, 2014, there were a ton of NeoPixel strip Santa hats, but no, this one is not only is it fancier with the matrix, but it scrolls text and it's controlled by the Feather Basic Proto. So nice. Is prototyping with an Uno, and then when you want to miniaturize your design, you can go down to something like the Feather. Oh, that's perfect.
Very cool.
Happy
Nice
holidays indeed.
Yes.
My family, by the way, they expect me to show up for Christmas and stuff like this.
Decked out.
And I'm like, guys, if you haven't seen me make a video about it, it's not, I don't have time to make secret things that you don't see.
It's my day off, guys.
And they get really offended when I tell them that, too. It's cool.
Well,
Whatever.
they're good gifts.
Yeah, it's true.
You can wear it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When requested, I do
Yeah.
happily oblige the please make me this thing for family. Cool. So that's
Nice.
a really great way to ring in the holiday season. Scrolling Merry Christmas or Bah Humbug.
Yeah.
This is a really awesome cosplay gun by Kamui Cosplay. Love her YouTube channel.
Yeah.
This is a giant prop gun from the game Heroes of the Storm. Jess and I admittedly had to look this one up. This is Nova's rifle, and she details quite well how she layered together the construction with laser cut pieces and foam, and then used some neopixels, a trinket, a power boost, and a big live poly battery to power up those.
Yeah, I don't even think you can see in this in the clip we have, but this gun is huge.
Yeah,
it's like
it's three pieces magnetized together.
Yeah.
Looks awesome.
Very, very cool.
Love to see cool, like really high quality cosplay and high quality electronics together.
Definitely.
This is Dave Hunt. We've seen him before, and we met up at Maker Faire Rome last year. Really nice guy. He made also a snowflake sweater. 'Tis the season.
Yeah.
I'm just proving that our project is like really on trend for
totally on point.
Dave Hunt took
on fleek, if you will.
Oh, sure.
On
I mean,
fleek.
I don't know if I'd go quite that far, but like I'll let you describe it that way if you. Yes, thanks. I would think Dave Hunt's snowflakes are quite on fleek as well.
Very much.
Used some neopixel stick and some laser cut snowflakes.
Yeah, those are really pretty, the laser cut snowflakes. They look nice.
Mm-hmm. And they're all wired, the data inputs are all wired in parallel, so they all do the same thing. But very festive way to adorn either your sweater or your Christmas tree. You could make your, like even without neopixels.
You can just put it like around the
lights. Yeah. So
that's really pretty.
Really nice job.
That one's like if you want to go all out. Yours is a little more subtle.
Yeah, you know, subtle LEDs.
Subtle.
Because that's definitely a thing.
Yes.
We're working on it anyway. Okay, this project is kind of really ridiculous. Leslie posted up this project, which I promise is legit scientific research.
Yes. Yeah.
This is a urine-powered wireless transmitter that's running a PIC microcontroller by the Bristol Robotics Library in the UK. So it's with the insole of your foot pumping the recycled urine through these microbial fuel cells to create electricity from, I don't know if it's like the pH or the whatever magic chemistry with microbial fuel cells to create electricity. Not a lot, mind you, but enough to power this little wireless transmitter.
I mean, I have to admit, it's like a very gross sounding project.
Yes, sure.
But it's interesting. I mean, you know, it's like taking something that we don't use in anything for, right? Like
it's very sci-fi, very Waterworld, and what Leslie equates it to in her blog post is the still suits in Dune, which do the same thing. Basically, they convert your wastewater, sweat, and urine into like drinkable water because like there's no water. And in Waterworld, there's an iconic scene too where there's like a device that turns it into clean drinking water. So, I mean, you know, sci-fi and future science research are one, and both have that like gross out factor. So, like, good on you. It's harder to get funding, I bet, for gross out projects than it is for like happy, fuzzy, warm feeling projects.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really useful if, like, you know, if they could apply it to like, you know, anything. Could be interesting. Could be useful in the future.
When we're talking about like, you know, we have things inside our bodies already, like pacemakers. Those things have batteries,
right?
And so, like, if we could create, and we're only adding more electronics inside and outside, right? So, could you imagine other parts of the body, like upgraded? I mean, speaking of urine projects, you have like an incontinence issue. You have some kind of like electronic valve system that like helps you with that problem. Well, you have to power it some way. Maybe this is like I don't know, cyborgs. We're going there.
Totally.
You can learn more about that project on the blog.
Yeah.
In a more lighthearted manner, or moving away from that topic, we still have a gift guide a weekday on the blog. A couple more days, I believe, right?
Yeah. I think up until the 23rd.
Oh yeah, all the way. Okay. Oh, because we can do gift certificates at the last minute, right? So if you still have some people on your Christmas shopping list or other holiday shopping list, you can check out or you just, you know, they're good any time of the year, but we do them around the holidays, so you can, if you have birthdays or whatever coming up. Today's new gift guide is new products.
Yeah. So all the newer things that we've added to the store in the past couple months. If you haven't gotten a chance to take a look at any of them, we've put together a gift guide with some of our favorites. So check it out on the blog and on social media.
Sometimes when we do the categorization for gift guides, like I knew when I do the wearables one, like, I'm going to keep in mind like the new wearables products that came out, but sometimes there's other products that, like, you know, just in general, I feel like the newer products don't get you don't jump to them.
Right. There's
present of mind.
iconic products, and then there's
Right.
like the new stuff that like, hey, you didn't even know you needed it.
Or you have some like Adafruit superfan on your shopping list who
has like everything.
Who has everything and will definitely not have these new products, and then probably will be like, wow, you really know your stuff because this just came out.
Yeah. Whoa. You're like really on fleek.
Geez, Mom, I didn't know you were so hip with the new products. Anyway, it's time for today's debut project.
Yes. And it is this beautiful LED snowflake
sweater. I don't want to spoil it. You guys just watch the video and you can learn about it.
Cool.
This week's wearables project is a snowflake sweater featuring a NeoPixel LED matrix controlled over Bluetooth with the Adafruit Bluefruit LE Connect app for iOS or Android. Let's get started. Heat up the solder pads of the wires on the back of the NeoPixel matrix and flip them around the other way so they face towards the inside of the board. Then you can attach the microcontroller of your choice. Here I did it two ways, with the Flora and the Flora Bluefruit module, but also with the Bluefruit Feather, which requires less soldering since the Bluefruit module is already on board. That makes this project just 3 solder joints. Coding up the snowflakes was a cinch in Arduino using the Adafruit GFX library for the NeoPixel matrix. I drew lines and rectangles, sometimes overwriting with a blank color to get like a hollow center, for example. You could use this code standalone and just have an animating snowflake or a single snowflake, and then the Bluefruit control allows you to change the snowflake and change the color. Noe and I worked together on this video to show you how to code up your own LED animations controlled with the Bluefruit app. Once your circuit is assembled and you've got the snowflake code loaded up, it's really easy to put it in your sweater. I made this one just temporarily attached because it's a seasonal thing and I could take it out and use it for something else later. I just used a needle and thread to tack the corners down to sort of hold it in place. If I wanted to make it a little more permanent, I could sew a pouch for the circuit like you've seen us do in projects before, but this will work fine for a couple holiday parties or around the office. Of course, there's a complete tutorial for this project. The link is in the description. What winter wearables are you working on? Let us know in the comments and show them off on our live show and tell hangout each week on Google+. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more wearable electronics from Adafruit.
All right. So that was awesome. I think that's like a really great project for, have you heard about people doing these ugly sweater parties?
Yes.
Not that it's ugly, but you could take it and put it on an ugly sweater.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. I mean, and you can definitely make it uglier if you wanted to. I was going for, like just barely on the cusp of like tacky to ugly sweater. Right. But yeah, like me and Dave Hunt are definitely at the same party in our sweaters.
Definitely. And you guys are winning.
We're winning the sweater party.
The sweater party.
These are the snowflakes that I designed. Actually, Colin designed, there's 12 here. Colin designed 11, 10, and 9. And they're 7 by 7, even though the NeoPixel matrix is 8 by 8. And that's because they look better with a center point versus a center square, like an odd number versus an even number. The one on the bottom right there, you're seeing that is an 8 by 8 snowflake. And it's sort of the only one I could muster that I thought looked good. But these are all in the sample code for this project, so you can kind of like mix and match, or you can design your own. You can see how I drew them in Photoshop as bitmaps, and then looked at them and just sort of like used the GFX library to draw lines and rectangles and individual pixels.
Cool.
Rather than like brute forcing the whole thing, the GFX library makes it easy to like, I'm going to draw an X. Now I'm going to blank out the middle pixel, and then I'm going to draw on top of it. So you can kind of, it felt to me pretty intuitive from an artsy visual perspective.
Yeah, definitely. Very cool.
And so we made this 2 ways with the Flora and the Flora Bluefruit module, just a little bit more soldering. And that's, I did it this way first because these are the parts I have at my desk more often, right? And the big wires that come on the NeoPixel matrix are, they're chunky for soldering, like they're a thick gauge wire because they're designed to chain together multiple NeoPixel matrices. And so it was easy to solder to the large pads of the Flora. But also if you wanted to incorporate this into a sweater permanently and you wanted the circuit to not be back-to-back but have the microcontroller off to this side, you could use the other holes to sew it in. But it's just it's actually easier to assemble with the Feather instead of the Flora. from a number of solder joints perspective, but the wires were a little
Solderings.
chunky.
Soldering's a little trickier.
It was trickier because the holes are smaller, and so I had to like make sure that the stranded wires stayed really together by tuning it. But you can also swap these wires out for like other wires because, again, you're not chaining the matrices together, so you don't really need that giant chunky wire. You can use thinner wire that you have, but it's really simple to put it together. Like we provide you the code, so like.
Yeah, it's a good last minute Christmas outfit if you need one or anything really.
Yeah, I was joking on the group chat with the other creative engineers that it's my Iron Man arc reactor.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
like I'm not Tony Stark, but I love snow, so it's like my superhero.
You know what? I'm sure you could even rework it into like a Star of David for like Hanukkah.
I'm sure. Although we missed the boat on Hanukkah.
We did miss the boat on Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah. Belated
Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could, but that's a little weird. I think the like labeling of the Jew is like the wearables with the Star of David gives a real like Holocaust
or maybe
vibe.
like a menorah. Yeah.
You got it. Yeah. I think. It's
Sorry,
good.
I didn't think of that.
No, I know, and I thought of that too, and then was like, oh yeah, I can't really go there, but we can talk about it and why.
Yeah.
Anyway, it definitely. I'm going to use this project. Like, you don't have to do a snowflake. It could be anything you want. It could be a dreidel. It could be scrolling text. You can display anything you want.
Really.
The Bluetooth, like you can also pull in sensor data from your phone. This is really just like a framework project that you can totally build on to do whatever you want. Snowflake's just your starter. If you would like to grab anything to build your digital Snowflake project, you can use code Snowflake to get 10% off your whole order. I think the Feather 32U4 boards are out of stock right now, but because this video lives online forever, they'll be back in stock eventually, or you can get Flora instead. Component of the week, guys, is this product.
Here it is.
Last week we talked about the Adafruit Feather 32U4 Basic Proto. This is a more fully featured flavor of Feather, the Feather 32U4 Blue Fruit.
Right. Yeah.
Board names are getting a little tongue twisted.
Super useful, which is probably why it is out of stock right now because everyone wants one.
It's holiday time, guys. A lot of things are out. Usually I try to frame the show around stuff that is in stock, but like for holiday time, there's just everything's out of stock.
Yeah. We're trying.
We are. We got the fab machines like running full speed.
Yes.
So the Feather 32U4 Blue Fruit has everything the regular Feather has, plus the Blue Fruit that's connected over hardware SPI. And so you got your 8 PWM pins, your 10 analog inputs, your built-in 100 milliamp onboard LiPoly charger. That's a very fancy thing. You got your mounting holes and your NRF module. That Nordic Bluetooth module can act as a HID keyboard, a heart rate monitor, a URI beacon, and like a bunch of other cool stuff just natively.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I know it sounds like I'm just listing, Sunday.
The list of features goes on and on. Yeah.
And then you use our app to control it, the Adafruit Blue Fruit LE Connect app for iOS or Android. That's free in the Google Play and iTunes store. Is that App Store?
App Store.
App Store. Anyway, the Feather's great. The Flora is feeling a little jealous of the Feather right now. So, but they're the same microcontroller, the Atmega 32U4. So that can also act as an HID keyboard when you plug it in over USB, so you got like so many keyboard options in this guy. Anyway, to code it up is pretty simple using the basic examples that we provide with the NRF library that Kevin Townsend wrote. But Noe was recently working on a project and he wanted to adapt my BrainCap Bluetooth code and for the Feather, and since I was working on the Snowflake project, we just jammed out on the code together, and Noe thought it would be a nice idea to share with you guys our coding process. So we tried a new little video that I want to show you just an excerpt of, since it's long, and you can get a taste for if you want to watch the rest of it.
Cool.
Yeah, about the code.
Yeah, let's see it.
Hey everybody, Becky here. I'm here with Noe, and we're going to talk about Bluetooth code today. Those are some sweet headphones, Noe. What's going on with them?
Yeah, thank you. So I got inspired from your previous project where you hacked a pair of Skull Candy headphones. You put some Flora pixels in there. So I figured I'd take that project, update it a little bit with some 3D printing, and use the new Adafruit Feather Blue Fruit module. So that's like
Nice.
the all-in-one thing. It's got the LiPo charger and everything. It fits nicely in these little things. So I got the color picker code working because it's a demo sketch. It comes with the library. And I was like, oh, it'd be really cool to have your brain cap sketch so that I can actually trigger some of the animations as opposed to just changing the colors. So I started working with that, and I changed a couple pins here and there, but it just wasn't working with those simple changes. So I was hoping that we could show people and myself here how we can adapt that sketch to work with this hardware, with the feather board.
Sure. Cool. Yeah, the brain cap, if you'll remember, uses a Flora and the Flora Bluefruit module to control 74 neopixels all over the skull, and then it's controlled with the Adafruit Bluefruit LE Connect app in the controller mode, and then the numbered buttons are switching the animation mode, and the color picker also controls the color. So it's kind of a mashup of the two example codes, NeoPixel Picker and controller. So do you want to open up those two sample sketches and we can take a look at them and then talk about how we might combine them together?
Yeah, sure.
So on the left here I have the NeoPixel Picker, and you can see that it just includes the libraries for SPI, the UART for communication, the BLE, and then it includes this Bluetooth config file. So did you go through the feather tutorial and already change your SPI reset pin to 4?
That's right.
Okay, great. And then in the NeoPixel Picker setup here, it has the number of the pin you're connected to. Mine is 6. What's yours?
Mine's also 6.
Okay, great. And the number of pixels, I'm using a NeoPixel Matrix.
Okay,
All
so
right.
if you guys liked that, you can watch the whole video on our YouTube channel. The link is in the description of this live broadcast. And yeah, it's like 17 minutes long, and it's just us doing the code together. So if that's of interest to you, I know we get a lot of questions about like overall strategy
Right.
regarding Arduino code. So it's definitely one for the invested.
Right.
But we've never done a video like this before where we go through the codes, kind of like Noah's layer by layer CAD videos. So if you like this coding video, definitely go there and give it a thumbs up to let us know you'd like us to make more videos like that, because it's the first time we tried anything like that. So
Yeah, I thought it was good. I liked it.
thanks. Code. And if you like to support Adafruit and all of our open source code and documentation we publish, you can place an order and let us know, vote with your dollars, that using code Snowflake, of course, to get 10% off, because fans don't pay full price.
Yeah.
That's good until 11:59 tonight.
All right. What tools do you love, Becky?
I love so many tools. In fact, today I even reposted on the blog the favorite tools music video from last year.
Oh yeah.
Just
that
'cause,
was like
like,
really funny. I love
'cause-
that. Yeah.
Because it was funny and it has a limited usefulness.
Seasonal. Yes.
Just like decorative gourd season.
I know that one's hysterical.
It's going to stretch out the maximum mileage. Also, I didn't think that I was embarrassed enough by singing on our YouTube channel last year, so I thought maybe I would subject myself to slightly more embarrassment for those of our fans who have not yet seen it.
Yeah. No, it's great.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely check out the blog.
You should watch it. It's very funny.
Okay, so this tool that I love is a new battery we have in the shop. It's the 350 milliamp hour Live Poly battery. Just like all of our other wide selection of Live Poly batteries, it has protection circuitry on it, so you can't accidentally blow it up by plugging it in backwards or shorting it out. It does not have an onboard thermistor, so that's why we tend to tell you to charge it off of your wearables in case it gets a little bit warm. It's like the perfect size. So if you remember, we have the 110, which is like a little piece of gum. We have the 150, which is like a little square. And then we have the 500, that's like a big square.
Right.
And so we didn't have like a thinner battery that could, power more than like 5 neopixels for any significant amount of time. But now we have this 350. It's narrower than the 500 and even the 150, but it's a little bit longer, a little bit thicker.
Yep. And it fits perfectly with the feather.
Right, so if you're looking to make a little feather sandwich, this one will fit in your stack. But it's also just a really good, Goldilocks level battery to round out our selection. We're just adding more sizes, like when we feel like we need them for a specific project or product. But if you have a Live Poly battery request,
suggestions, you can go to the contact us form on the site, and there's a drop-down menu for suggest a product. You can just shoot us an email that way, and we'll pass it along. And
because now we're pretty stable with this battery supplier, so it's not a big deal to add new sizes. This one's great. And if you don't know what battery is good for your project, we got you covered. We have this guide and video about how to calculate what kind of battery you need for your wearables project. It's all about totaling up the amount of current your project could possibly draw, and then selecting a battery that balances out your priorities about time that you want it to last and size.
Yep. And if you are interested in buying any batteries, you can use the discount code snowflake to get 10% off, excluding gift certificates and software. It goes until 11:59 p.m. Eastern time tonight.
10% off all batteries and everything else.
And everything else. Okay, so question and answer time. All right, we're giving away a Flora this week.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, somebody will get a Flora. If you have any wearable electronics questions, now or later, you can post them up in the live chat, in the comments of any of our YouTube videos, on our Google Plus event page, on Twitter, on the Adafruit blog, on the Adafruit forums. I do definitely look there for questions too. And we round them all up. I select which questions to answer on the show, and then those people are eligible to win the show's giveaway, which today is a Flora. So if you want some free stuff and you have questions, this is the perfect place for you.
Great. Awesome. Okay, let's get started with the first question. This is from Dorma. I'm wondering if anyone is familiar with the thickness of both the silver-coated nylon fabric and the 100% silver knit. I have a pair of North Face E-tip gloves. The E-tips on the gloves are very thin but work great. I read that the North Face E-tips are made of silver-coated nylon, and I'm hoping that one of these fabrics would be comparable for making my own gloves. Does anyone have any experience with either fabric or know how it may compare to the E-tips on the North Face gloves? So these are the two types of fabric that we stock that he is referring to.
Right. We have one additional more piece of kind of conductive fabric, the jersey. But these are the two that he's asking about in the, or she is asking about in the forums. I'm not familiar with those particular gloves, but our woven fabric is silver-coated nylon, and then our knit conductive fabric is a silver-coated fiber that's then knit. So it says 100% silver because it's like the fiber is silver, so it has more surface area that's silver versus the silver-plated nylon fabric is plated after it's fabric, so it's really only a coating on the fabric rather than on the fiber that becomes the fabric. Does that make sense? Anyway, that's why it's more expensive. But they're both fine for making gloves. I think the one that's probably most like the gloves that at least from the picture you posted, is the woven, just because it's not stretchy. It's a little bit thinner, and then the knit stuff is more like the texture of bathing suit. It's like a spandexy, so it's like as thick as a bathing suit fabric.
Neither of them are super thick, though.
No, they'd both be fine
thin, so.
for gloves. So if you wanted to make your own gloves, either of these fabrics would be fine, depending on if you want it to be stretchy or not. And then I would just make sure that your seam allowance comes into the finger of the glove, because the touching of your skin
needs to touch your skin.
Yeah, it needs to touch your skin and the phone. So you can't just like stick it on the outside of your gloves.
Right.
It needs to be because it needs to be transmitting the conductivity from your fingers.
Yeah, or like cut a hole in the fingertip and then put the fabric over it. Something like that.
Or we've also done where you just sew a little bit of conductive yarn. But I can understand if you want the smooth silver tip look, kind of like the
picture.
Many ways to make touchscreen gloves up in this house.
Yes. All right, next question is from iRobot Roomba. I have problems for installing the special Adafruit Arduino IDE that will work with Gemma. I have the black Gemma version 2. Thank you.
So this procedure has changed a little bit in the last couple of years since Gemma came out, so I understand how it can be confusing because there's like different types of directions based on what version of the Arduino IDE you're using. So when they released 1.6 versions of Arduino, they have this new thing called the Boards Manager, and that you used to have to do a lot of customization to the IDE yourself to make Gemma and Flora work. And then we would release a version of Arduino that already had that work done for you.
Right.
But since they released the 1.6 versions, they have this boards manager that makes it a lot easier to pull in all of the Adafruit boards as we release them. So it's easier for us to update, it's easier for you to get, and you just go through the settings and kind of like slurp them in just like the library manager. So while those older versions of Arduino should work, I think if you're having any trouble on your like newer operating system or whatever's going on there, you can start with the newer version. So set aside the standalone modded version. Start with a fresh 1.6.4 and follow this tutorial on the Adafruit Learning System by Todd Treese about how to use the boards manager to install all of the Adafruit boards, including Gemma, Flora, the trinkets, the pro trinkets, and all the feathers are in there. That's what I'm on right now, and it's working great on 1.6.4.
Yeah. Cool. And that's all in the learning system.
But I understand. I wanted to bring it up on the show because it can be a little confusing.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people have the same question. Okay, so this is from Dawn, 1992. Hi, I'm working on my first wearable project with Gemma and sewable NeoPixels connected with conductive thread. Several times the Gemma or one of the NeoPixels has given off a small amount of smoke.
Oh no.
After a quick removal of power, once powered with battery, the other times with USB, no harm seems to have been done. Each time I have found and fixed the issue and it works fine for now. Does anybody have any ideas about preventing shorts? This project is a shirt and I'm concerned about the effect of sweat on the circuit during normal use in a hot climate. Would sweat corrode the circuit or cause shorts? I would prefer to keep using conductive thread, but stranded wire is an option if that would help.
Yeah, I would recommend using stranded wire for your project. Conductive textiles, I think, have a very wide imaginative scope, and the usefulness scope is smaller than the imaginative scope. So that's just a fancy way of saying it's not as good for as many things as people think it is.
Right.
And often silicone-coated stranded wire is really the ideal solution for you. If you need any insulation, and anything that's going to touch your skin bare should be with wire and not conductive thread. Anything that's going to fold over against itself. We have it in multiple gauges. The 30 gauge stuff is really thin, and it really doesn't add too much weight or lack of flexibility to your project. Super flexible, and high voltage. Because, folding over your conductive textiles can short out, and you definitely don't want your project catching on fire.
No, especially if you're wearing it.
I've never seen it yet. I've heard a couple of reports of smoke like this, but I've never seen anybody actually have their. And I've never experienced. I've shorted out projects before. Don't get me wrong, but I've never started a fire before.
Well, that's good to know.
Giveaway time. On that
let's
note,
give away a Flora.
Let's not start any fires. Let's give away a Flora. Jess will pick the winner from the Sticky Burn Hat.
All right.
If you would like to win, just ask a Wearable Electronics question, and we'll consider you for a future giveaway.
Okay, so this week the winner is Dorma, who had the question about the North Face E-tip gloves.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Here's the winning question. If you would like to claim your prize, please email support@adafruit.com. Jess's team will take care of you.
Yep. Send it out to you. And even if you didn't win, you can get 10% off of Flora using the code Snowflake today.
And anything else in the shop, excluding gift certificates and software.
And that goes until 11:59 p.m. tonight. So later on today, we also have, not yet. I was going to talk about show and tell for a second.
Maybe I should move the Adafruit Daily slide to the beginning of the show. Remember that we have Adafruit Daily newsletters on several topics. Biohacking is most new.
Yep.
We also have wearables, general electronics tips, maker business, and then 3D printing is coming soon.
Coming soon, very soon.
So if you're interested in getting daily tips in your newsletter, in your inbox, you can sign up at adafruitdaily.com. The email address the account's not associated with your store account at all, so we can't spam. We won't spam you or cross market or anything. It's really just for the delivery of the tips. And if you're wondering how that works, all of our tips kind of suggest that you use Adafruit products. Good information is good advertising, guys. Anyway, later on today, as Jess was saying.
Yes, show and tell and Ask an Engineer. Show and tell is on at 7:30 p.m. And it is a hangout where you can show off any of your projects that you want to show. You can join by making a comment on the post on the Google Plus page, and we'll add you to the circle, and you'll be invited every week. And then Ask an Engineer is on at 8 with Phil and Lady Ada, and they talk about all sorts of things, answer questions, give away prizes, there's a discount code, all sorts of good stuff.
Yeah, if you don't agree with my Snowflake discount code on principle, you can wait until tonight and use their discount code.
Yes.
And then tomorrow is 3D Thursday. As usual, Noe and Pedro will be debuting a 3D printing project and also having their own show where they talk about techniques and answer your questions and show off your projects. Very similar to a wearables, but about 3D printing. So don't miss that on Thursday. It's super fun. And
that's it.
Yeah,
And that's
happy
it for
holidays,
today.
Jess.
Happy
Thanks
holidays
for-
to you too.
Thanks for hosting in 2015.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to see you guys in the new year.
Jess will be hosting the first show of 2016, which is on January 6th.
The 6th, yeah.
And Phil will be hosting next week, but there will be no show the week after that. So next week is the last Wearables show of 2015. Be there or be square.
Yeah.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel on YouTube so you can get reminded when we have live broadcasts happening and see all of our new videos when they come out. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for watching, and we will see you soon. Bye.